Did you know Chao Karate appears in Sonic Adventure 1? Or that Taka appears in Sonic Advance? How about the official Chao website that lets you download coloring pages and paper crafts? I'm Ginge the Ripper, and in this special series of video game gems, we're diving into the rabbit hole of Chao Gardens, covering every game that ever released. An upgraded version of the Gardens came along 3 years later with Sonic Adventure 2. The game lacks a hub world, so the Chao Gardens were bundled together in Chao World, a digital space removed from the main game. To access Chao World for the first time, the player has to find a Chao key in one of 3 Chao containers hidden in each stage. The first container always holds a key, a plethora of animals are in the second, and the final container bequeaths you a rare animal. Completing a stage with Chao key in hand teleports your character to Chao World. That character then has access to Chao World via the stage select screen. When you enter Chao World through story mode, you can only enter one garden. When you exit, the narrative progresses. In stage select, you can move through Chao World freely. Omo Chao will also greet you at the entrance.
Welcome to Chao World!
When you enter Chao World for the first time, you'll only have access to the normal garden, equipped with 2 generic Chao eggs, tree nuts, a VMU transporter, and a cave that leads to the Chao races. Sonic Adventure 2 swapped the colors of the baby Chao from blue and green to the iconic blue and yellow we have today. The nuts were also redesigned, looking more generic than their Sonic Adventure counterparts, and the transporter was redesigned to be more convenient. In Sonic Adventure, you stand on the button and set your Chao down to transfer it. Simple yet unnecessarily confusing for new players. In Sonic Adventure 2, you automatically throw the Chao in the transporter after pressing the button. Sonic Adventure 2 introduced a couple new mechanics to the gardens. Players can now pet their Chao, increasing their happiness without picking them up. Whistling was also added, allowing a Chao to run to the player if it has a strong bond with that character. Sonic Adventure 2 also updated the gestures for Chao. If a Chao has a strong bond with a character, it will nuzzle that character and wiggle around in his or her arms when held. An abused Chao becomes fearful of its attackers, running and screaming. It also pouts when picked up and cries when left alone. Unlike Sonic Adventure, an abused Chao in Sonic Adventure 2 will perpetually hate characters it has a negative bond with, even if the player stops attacking it. As mentioned previously, animals have returned in Sonic Adventure 2. They can be found roaming around levels or inside Chao containers. Animals work a little differently in SA2. In SA1, most of the animals raise more than one stat. For example, penguins raise swim by 1.6 and fly by 0.4. Since the animal raises swim significantly more than any other stat, it is classified as a yellow animal. In Sonic Adventure 2, the yellow animals still primarily raise swim, but lower one or more of a Chao's other stats. The same goes for purple, red, and green animals with their respective stats. On the other hand, blue animals are still considered special, so they once again raise a random stat by a predetermined amount without lowering another. 2 additional color types were also added to Sonic Adventure 2, orange and black. Orange are mythical animals that raise multiple stats, while black are ghost animals that do the same thing and also remove animal body parts. Chao once again inherit abilities from the animals they are given. Otters backstroke, penguins slide on their bellies, seals roll around, condors do sit-ups, parrots sing, peacocks do the chakram pose, cheetahs scratch their faces, boars do a sonic dash, rabbits hop, bears sumo wrestle, gorillas beat their chests, tigers scratch a tree, raccoons wag their tails, sheep somersault, skunks fart, dragons breathe fire, phoenixes shake their tails and wings, unicorns do backwards somersaults, bats have no legs, half-fish have flaming emotion balls, and finally, the skeleton dogs have no body abnormalities and give Chao the ability to wear hats, which we'll cover later. Animals aren't the only stat-boosting items in Sonic Adventure 2. Enemies in the main game are powered by Chaos Drives that come in 4 colors: red, yellow, green, and purple. Each Chaos Drive exclusively raises their respective stats without altering a Chao's appearance. They're also a reliable way to control a Chao's evolution. Sonic Adventure 2 has an unreasonably useful glitch allowing players to raise a Chow's stats quicker. If you place an animal on the ground in front of a Chow instead of handing it to them, the Chow's stats will increase without using up the animal, allowing the player to indefinitely pick up the same animal until they mess up. This can also be done with Chaos Drives, but it's much more time consuming since they fly away from the Chow. However, performing this trick will turn your Chow into a glitch Chow, which comes with a minor downside that we'll cover later as it becomes relevant. Item collecting works a little differently in Sonic Adventure 2. Characters are divided into two teams, Hero and Dark, and each team can carry up to 10 items. Unlike Sonic Adventure, the teams won't lose their items when the player switches characters. The items will stay in their inventory until they unload or turn the console off, ultimately allowing the player to carry 20 items simultaneously. All of the evolutions from Sonic Adventure return, but are now called Normal or Neutral Chow. This is because the player is now able to raise Hero and Dark Chow depending on the characters they utilize. If you primarily care for a Chow with Hero characters, you'll raise a Happy Hero Chow. If you primarily abuse a Chow with Hero characters, you'll raise an Upset Dark Chow. And the reverse is true for Dark characters. A Chow will only become a Hero, Normal, or Dark Chow after it evolves, and once it has, the Chow cannot change alignments until it reincarnates. Hero Chow are white with a halo replacing their emotion ball, while Dark Chow are black with a spiked emotion ball. Here are all of the types of Hero and Dark Chow you can raise. Did you know the official artwork for the Hero Chow is a full-grown normal Chow, while the official artwork for the Dark Chow doesn't actually exist in-game? It's supposed to be a normal Dark Chow, but for whatever reason its wings and ball are blue in-game. Before we continue, the footage is mine, but most of the images come from Chow Island, a website made by passionate fans that will tell you almost everything you want to know about Chow. If anyone associated with the website is watching, stick around. I found some things that aren't on your website. You might learn something new. Sonic Adventure 2 also includes one more character Chow, a Shadow Chow that is a Dark Run Chow. After you evolve a Hero and or Dark Chow, you'll unlock your other two gardens respectively, the Hero Garden and the Dark Garden. The Hero Garden resides above the left of the Normal Garden with a heavenly aesthetic, complete with white decor, a fountain, and an angelic transporter. The theme for the garden is a peaceful cover of the Normal Garden. The nuts in the Hero Garden were redesigned and slightly shift the Chow's alignment to Hero, meaning if a player hatched a Chow in the Hero Garden and left it alone, it would evolve into a Hero Chow if it ate enough nuts. The Dark Garden resides below the right side of the Normal Garden. The Dark Garden has a dark appearance and feels like more work went into it over the Hero Garden. There's a mountain in the garden, topped with a graveyard, spiked fencing surrounds the garden, trees are dead, the ground is barren, the water is red, there's a cave inside the mountain with demonic chalk drawings on the walls and a boiling pot. A creepy mountain looms in the background, and the transporter is shaped like a fat imp and is fundamentally the greatest thing to ever exist in the Sonic franchise. The music has also been altered to match the atmosphere of the garden. See what I mean? Everything in the Dark Garden was redesigned, while the Hero Garden reuses a lot of assets from the Normal Garden, and you'll see more of this as the video goes on. The Dark Garden nuts were also redesigned and shift a Chow's alignment to dark. As previously mentioned, Chow can wear hats in Sonic Adventure 2 after given enough skeleton dogs. There are 3 hats in SA2, the top halves of eggshells, pumpkins that Knuckles and Rouge can dig up in the Normal and Hero Gardens, and skulls that can be dug up in the Dark Garden. While the hats are cool, they come at a price. The only way to remove a hat from a Chow is to throw it against a wall. A Chow will not remove a hat on its own or swap one for another. Sonic Adventure 2 added one more new type of Chow I haven't brought up yet, Chaos Chow. A type of Chow that lives forever, doesn't grow animal body parts, and just looks cool overall. Like other types, you can evolve Normal, Hero, and Dark Chaos Chow through a time-consuming process. To evolve a Chaos Chow, you have to feed all 21 animals to a baby Chow that has reincarnated at least twice. If you are successful, it will evolve into a Chaos Chow. Contrary to popular belief, you can feed more than one of the same animal to your Chao as long as it's just one or two, but most players don't risk it. If you mess up the process, you have to wait for your Chao to reincarnate to try again. Like Sonic Adventure, the life of a well-kept Chao is around 5 hours real time, meaning it takes over 10 hours to make a Chaos Chao on your first attempt. 10 hours, mind you, of waiting around inside the garden with the Chao you want to evolve. After hatching your first Chao, you'll unlock the Chao Kindergarten, giving you access to more goodies. The principal's office shares info about raising Chao. This is useful for newer players who never made it this far in the video. The classroom teaches your Chao different abilities through various classes. There are 15 lessons that are cycled through in hour intervals and take a Chao 30 minutes to complete. However, unlike the actual gardens, time only passes in the classrooms while the player is outside of Chao World. And here's a fun fact for you guys. In the foyer of the kindergarten, there's a drawing of the classroom's teacher who never makes an appearance in game. There are 4 dance lessons: the go-go dance, shake dance, spin dance, and step dance. There's an exercise class, as well as 8 different instrument classes: the bell, castanets, cymbals, drum, flute, maracas, tambourine, and trumpet. If you set multiple Chao who've learned an instrument down together, they will play together as a band after one Chao has started playing. The song lesson can be taken 5 times as your Chao learns a new song with each lesson. The final lesson, drawing, can also be taken 5 times, with your Chao learning a new drawing each time. The first is a cake, the second is a car for normal Chao, flowers for hero Chao, and a skull for dark Chao. The third is Amy Rose, the fourth is Big the Cat, and the 5th and final lesson is to call. You can have your Chao examined at the doctor's office. The doctor will show you the Chao's stats, character bonds, Chao type, favorite food, stuff like that. However, examining a reincarnated Chao can be dangerous due to a translation glitch. If the doctor talks about your Chao's reincarnated status, it will corrupt your save file, causing you to lose all your progress as well as any Chao that are not in a VMU. Chao can succumb to 6 different illnesses: colds, coughs, hiccups, rashes, runny noses, and stomach aches. If a sick Chao is examined, the doctor will give it medicine for an instant recovery. The footage on screen is from a YouTuber named Sapphire Chao, who I believe is playing a modded PC version of the game. I try to avoid using someone else's footage, but it's exceptionally rare for a Chao to get sick, and no one seems to know what causes the illnesses. I've only had it happen twice in my 20+ years of playing the game, and both times were before I started working on this video. I'll leave a link in the description for anyone who wants to watch the full video. The kindergarten is also equipped with a bulletin board, but we'll cover that later. The Chao races are much more fun in Sonic Adventure 2. Like its predecessor, you start off with the beginning and jewel races and unlock additional races and prizes as you win. Your Chao has a stamina bar that slowly depletes as it races. If you empty the bar in the middle of a race, your Chao will slow down considerably for the remainder of the race. Pressing the R button allows you to cheer for your Chao, making it go faster for a short period of time. But this will take a big chunk out of the stamina bar, so you can't go overboard. Each race has multiple difficulties that reward you with a medal or a prize for completing them all. The beginner races are the easiest, and each one caters to one of the 4 Chao stats: Crab Pool, Stump Valley, Mushroom Forest, and Block Canyon. Crab Pool and Stump Valley reward you with a shovel and watering can, allowing Chao to plant seeds. Once again, this is something we'll cover in more detail later. You get a rattle from Mushroom Forest, and Block Canyon rewards your Chao with a toy car. Once you've completed all the beginner races, you'll unlock 4 new categories: the challenge races, hero races, dark races, and party races. Each of the jewel races are tougher than the beginner races. Each race tests several of your Chao's main skills, as well as 2 new skills, intelligence and luck. Like its predecessor, completing each race will reward you with a gemstone medal of the same name and a prize. Aquamarine tests your Chao's running and swimming skills and rewards you with a Sonic doll. Topaz primarily tests your Chao's ability to fly and rewards you with a broom. Peridot focuses on your running skills and rewards you with a picture book. Garnet tests your power skills by climbing and shaking trees and rewards you with a pogo stick. Onyx focuses on luck and intelligence. At the beginning of the race, each Chao unwinds a jack in the box. If the box is empty, the Chao cheers and moves on. If the box has a jack in it, the jack will incapacitate the Chao for a few seconds. The higher your Chao's luck, the less likely a jack will pop out. Further in the race, your Chao is shown a picture of an object and must pick up the right one to progress. If your Chao chooses wrong, an item is dropped on its head. The higher its intelligence, the more likely it will pick the correct item. At the end of the race, your Chao's luck shines yet again, protecting it from pitfalls. Once you've completed the Onyx races, your Chao is rewarded with a box of crayons, giving it the ability to draw even more pictures. Your Chao will draw one of the 6 playable characters it has a strong bond with, as well as a normal, hero, or dark Chao depending on its alignment. The final jewel race, Diamond, tests all your Chao's general skills and rewards you with a bubble blower. The challenge races are fun, filled with a plethora of new and returning rival Chao. Gold and Silver Rivals has you racing against the Gold and Silver Chao from Sonic Adventure. This race requires a well-rounded Chao with high stats to win. He returns, brings back the Ego King Chakron, and takes place on the same track as the Gold and Silver race. Chakron is significantly better than the other CPUs, but is a pushover compared to his Sonic Adventure counterpart. I'm Trying is a race against a bunch of Omo Chao primarily focusing on speed. Small Animal Challenge is a race against a few of the collectible animals and uses the same track as the Omo Chao race. Winning this race will reward you with a ball for the normal garden. Horrible Cockroach Chao Group is a race against Black Chao with Dragon Antenna and is another well-rounded track. Oh My Egg is a charming race against a bunch of Chao still inside their eggs that takes place on the Omo Chao track. Skeleton Group is a race against Skull Chao and takes place on the Gold and Silver track, along with the remainder of the challenge races. However, this time around the track has a darker atmosphere and music to match. Ghost Group is a mixture of Skull, Pumpkin, and Hatless Chao that have missing feet and fiery emotion balls. He Strikes Back is a rematch against Chakron, who is a little more formidable. Chao Rangers is a race against Gemstone Chao in reference to the Power Rangers. However, black is replaced with green, and each Chao is a different type. Gold is a Power Chao, Emerald is a Swim Chao, Ruby is an all-around Chao, Sapphire is a Run Chao, and Pink Sapphire is a Fly Chao. Ultimate Rival is the final challenge race against a normal Chaos Chao, and is the hardest of the challenge races. The Chaos Chao has high all-around stats, and is tough to beat if you're unprepared. Upon winning this race, you're rewarded with a gold medal and a TV for the normal garden. The hero races are several races against Dark Chao that only normal and hero Chao can enter, and each race takes place on a dark track. The first race, Baby Devil, is a race against unevolved Dark Chao where the key to victory is running. Child Devil is a race against evolved Dark Chao on a track that tests all your skills, and the reward for winning is a ball for the Hero Garden. Death Troops is another race against Skull Chao that focuses on power, and Devil vs. Angel is the final race, taking place on the same track as Child Devil against a Dark Chaos Chao with stats that are similar if not identical to the normal Chaos Chao. Your reward for winning is a Hero Medal and a Rocking Horse for the Hero Garden. The Dark races are identical to the Hero races but swapped. They are exclusive to Dark and Normal Chao and all your opponents are Hero Chao. Baby Angel takes place on the same track as Baby Devil against unevolved Hero Chao. Angels once again takes place on the same track as Child Devil with evolved Hero Chao, and your reward for winning is a ball for the Dark Garden. And unlike the other two gardens, the Dark Ball always spawns in the water. Flying Angels is the only unique track in the hero races against Flying Hero Chao that prioritizes every basic skill but power. And the final race, Angel vs. Devil, is a race against a Hero Chaos Chao, identical to its Dark race counterpart. The reward you get for winning is the Dark Medal and a radio for the Dark Garden. Like Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2 allows players to send a Chao through the VMU to Chao Adventure 2. Like its predecessor, you collect various fruits to bring back to Sonic Adventure 2. The Chao fruit raises all your Chao's skills by 3. The Heart fruit raises your Chao's desire to mate. The Energy fruit makes your Chao active, so it's less likely to sit still. The Peace fruit does the opposite, making your Chao more relaxed and less likely to run around. And the Smart fruit significantly raises your Chao's intelligence. Excluding the Chao fruit and Heart fruit, each of these fruits raises your Chao's stamina by 10, while adding another effect. The Round fruit, Triangle fruit, and Square fruit also raise your Chao's stamina by 10 but have no other effect. However, of the 3 fruits, your Chao will have a favorite and will always eat it quickly, as well as one it doesn't like and refuses to eat. And finally, the Hero fruit will shift a Chao's alignment to good, while the Dark fruit will shift its alignment to bad. Dark and Hero Chao will not eat their opposing fruit. Unlike Sonic Adventure, Chao reproduce codependently in Sonic Adventure 2. However, Chao are still asexual by nature. They are neither male nor female. I know this because I made a copy of my favorite Chao once and he fornicated with himself.
The last part was probably unnecessary, I'm sorry.
If you've won the shovel in the Chao races, your Chao can plant seeds from Chao Adventure 2 that grow into various fruit trees. If your Chao has also won the watering can, your Chao will water the seed, making it grow faster. Only Chao that have won the shovel can plant seeds, and only Chao that have won the watering can can water them. There are 9 different seeds in the game with their own unique fruit and tree design. Here's the Tall Fruit, Tasty Fruit, Vitality Fruit, Rare Fruit, Strong Fruit, Wonder Fruit, Creepy Fruit, Rough Fruit, and Forbidden Fruit. The Seed Fruit are an anomaly as they are separated into 3 categories: Normal, Hero, and Dark. However, they don't affect your Chao in any way or raise their stats. And that's everything there is to the core Sonic Adventure 2 experience. However, like its predecessor, Sonic Adventure 2 has an official Dreamcast website you can access from the homepage or the Chao Kindergarten bulletin board. Like my previous video, I'm only covering Chao related content for this video, but if you would like a full in-depth video on everything the website has to offer, as well as a step-by-step guide on how to do this yourself, let me know in the comments and I'll make another video. The first thing you'll find after navigating to the Chao tab of the website is a tropical cover of the Chao Garden theme. Along with the Chao Daycare, Chao BBS, and Chao Black Market. That's right, like Sonic Adventure, the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure 2 didn't have a black market on disc. Players had to connect to the internet to download content from the store, and unlike games today, the downloadable content was free. The Chao Daycare allowed players with Sega Net accounts to trade Chao with their friends. In the 1990s, BBS stood for Bulletin Board System, which was the original term for online forums. As you can guess, Chao BBS was a place for like-minded individuals to talk about Chao. Like its predecessor, the black market allowed players to download unique Chao depending on the number of emblems they collected. The black Chao returned from Sonic Adventure and doesn't require any emblems to trade. Once again, it's just a regular Chao with a black tint, but the website encourages you to make a black hero Chao. You're welcome. All the gemstone Chao returned as well. The silver and gold Chao were worth 10 emblems, while the ruby, sapphire, amethyst, and emerald Chao were worth 20. And finally, a new type of Chao named Moon Chao was available for 30 emblems. And since there are no unique Chao available offline and most kids didn't have access to the internet at the time, Chao breeding was removed. Chao Adventure 2 was a complete 180 from its predecessor. While Chao Adventure was exclusively a tool to level up your Chao on the go, Chao Adventure 2 is more of a game and doesn't let you increase your Chao stats at all on the VMU. Once again, you can only name your Chao and check its stats on the VMU. You can't do either of these on the Dreamcast. The Chao will once again ask for your personal information and adds your blood type to the list. Like Chao Adventure, your Chao's appearance in Chao Adventure 2 changes depending on the type you've raised. There isn't a roadmap for Chao Adventure 2 as it uses RNG to keep things interesting, so I wasn't able to capture footage of everything, but I did my best. This time around, your Chao faces the camera, and there are only 10 areas to visit: the beach, city, desert, another dimension, forest, mountains, plains, sea, sky, and space. As your Chao walks, one of several adventures will play out in the background. In order to reach the goal, you have to finish the narrative. Like Chao Adventure, your Chao interacts with the playable characters from Sonic Adventure 2 throughout its adventures, who are interchangeable as you replay adventures. The Chao also interacts with Amy, Big, Omo Chao, the Chao Professor, the Chao's Papa, Mama, ancestors, and a Chao God. That's right, did you know there's a Chao God?
Yes.
Some of the adventures are straightforward, while others are more complex, allowing the player to affect the narrative. Walk Prince is an adventure where your Chao talks about how much it loves walking, and asks you to call it Walk Prince for the remainder of the adventure. Dentist is an adventure where your Chao gets a toothache and refuses to go to the dentist, until you force it to. Lonely is an adventure where everyone runs away from your Chao, causing it to feel lonely. At the end of the adventure, it realizes that everyone was running away from it because it had something stuck on its head, and that something changes each time you replay the adventure, like a Chaos Drive, Shoe, or another Chao. Delivery is an adventure where one of the characters asks you to deliver a letter to another character, and your Chao has to resist the temptation of opening it. Errand is an adventure where Omo Chao will ask you to find him a Chaos Drive, battery, and custard, having your Chao question whether Omo Chao is actually a robot. The conclusion depends on player input. Sick Day is an adventure where one of the characters gets sick and your Chao searches for ingredients to a recipe that will help him or her feel better. Once again, the resolution will change depending on the player's input. Camera is an adventure where your Chao borrows a camera and uses it to take pictures of the characters. Depending on player input, the Chao will either take appropriate or embarrassing photos, only to find that there wasn't any film in the camera when you started. Idol is an adventure where your Chao tries to become a famous idol by mimicking the talents of famous animals, before inevitably accepting itself for who it is. Straight is an adventure where your Chao only wants to walk in a straight line. Its end goal changes depending on whether or not the Chao strays from the path. And finally, Chao Thing is my favorite adventure where the Chao loses the emotion ball on its head. Your Chao refers to the emotion ball as Chao Thing because there isn't an official term for it and replaces it with a baseball until it's found. It's ultimately found at the end of the adventure, hidden under your Chao's wings. It's funny that Chao emotion balls are not only detachable but also replaceable, and since the emotion ball is the size of a baseball, a real life Chao is about as big as this box, or 4 soda cans. There is a plethora of Sonic lore exclusive to Chao Adventure 2 that is found through adventures and intermissions. Did you know Chao don't eat Chaos Drives? They drink the liquid inside? Makes you wonder what they do with the animals. Chaos Drives also expire. The Sonic characters shave the skin parts of their bodies. They also carry flea powder. All the jack-o'-lanterns in Sonic Adventure 2 are sentient, and so is the mountain in the Dark Garden. All the pumpkins at Pumpkin Hill are poisonous. Chaos have no bones. Chakron's name in Chao Adventure 2 is misspelt as Chaperon, and there's a Chao black market on the Space Colony Arc. Like I said earlier, if you utilize the animal glitch, your Chao becomes a glitch Chao, which can have negative effects on your Chao Adventure 2 save file. I don't know the full extent, but in my experience, you mainly end up with dialogue lines from one adventure in another adventure. I've also witnessed the deletion of my transferable items. The glitch can affect multiple VMUs, even the ones you haven't transferred your glitch Chao to, and the only way to fix the issue is to erase your Chao Adventure 2 save files from the console menu, as well as your Chao Garden data. I glossed over this in my previous video, but Chao have 3 personality types in Chao Adventure. A Chao you spend time with is a happy Chao, a Chao you ignore is a normal Chao, and a Chao you abuse is a lively Chao. The personality of each Chao affects its mood on a walk. In Chao Adventure 2 there is no personality types. Your Chao's mood is not affected by how you raise it. Like Chao Adventure, your Chao can trip or get bored. This time around you can once again pet them to get them back on track, or scold them, though neither option affects your Chao in any way. A downgraded version of the Flying Fist battles returns in Chao Adventure 2. Your Chao stats don't affect battles this time around. The speed, number of white dots, and damage output don't change. 3 hits and the battle's over. You aren't rewarded for winning this time around, but the Bully Chao still takes one of your items if you lose. Your Chao still randomly finds chests while walking, but you no longer win them from battles. Since you can't choose your route in Sonic Adventure 2, you'll randomly meet one of the playable characters for a free item. I managed to capture footage of every character except Eggman. I'm sure you can also meet up with him, I don't know why you wouldn't, but he never showed up for me. Amy is another character you can meet, though I wasn't able to capture footage of her either. However, like the other returning characters, Sonic Team reused her sprite from Chao Adventure. Once again, you can hold up to 8 items in Chao Adventure 2. You receive fruit from characters and chests, and seeds by completing adventures. Unlike Chao Adventure, your Chao can't eat any of the fruit while in the VMU. You have to transfer your seeds and fruit back to Sonic Adventure 2 to use them. Mating is the only thing you can do when linking up with a friend. Once again, only adult Chao can lay eggs. However, you're not guaranteed an egg each time you link up. Through trial and error, there doesn't seem to be a reason why the Chaos sometimes don't reproduce, but if I had to guess, it may have something to do with the luck stat. The most useful change in Chao Adventure 2 is that your progress doesn't reset if you accidentally drop your VMU or the batteries die. You'll pick up right where you left off. And finally, the minigame in the menu this time around is a slot machine. You start with 100 points and bid up to 10 with each pool. You can either gain more points or food for your Chao to eat. Apples, cake, and bananas. Unlike the fruit, you can't transfer the food to Sonic Adventure 2. You can only feed them to your Chao while in the VMU, but they don't increase your Chao stats. In just 2 games, the Chao Gardens were refined with 53 more alignments, another color, useful race rewards, a kindergarten, illnesses, removable body parts, hats, seeds, and we're just getting started! In the next episode, we're covering Chao Laboratory, a website with news and info on several Chao games, as well as other fun Chao activities. See you soon.